We live in a busy time and in a busy culture, and the constant noise reflects that. Cars honking, ads selling, music playing, text tones ringing. But out here, deep in the Caribou Mountains, there's no noise, only the sounds of water pushing against my waders. Of the river as it flows over rocks, of my fly line cutting through the air. And for some reason, these sounds help me to see life more clearly.
One of the things that I've found about fishing Quenelle Lake is that whatever stream we end up at, there's a bit of a trek to get there. And today we're going to be in a jet boat, and we're guided by a fellow named Doug, and he's going to be taking us up the lake. It's about an hour and a half boat ride up the lake to a few different tributaries that we're going to be finding. And he's told us that we're in for some amazing scenery as we're moving up the lake.
Well, today was, again, a different kind of fishing. We fished the mouths of these creeks in Quenelle Lake, and these are gathering points for the salmon that are spawning, and the trout find the salmon. Later on, I hooked a good-sized fish. I knew immediately it was a good-sized fish because he's doing the big head shake routine.
And there was a point where Jim hooked a fish, and his rod was like, it was pretty much maxed out. And he was fighting that fish for a bit, and I was like, wow, he's got something really big on. As soon as it was kind of at his feet, there was, just some immense excitement because it wasn't a bull trout, it was a lake trout, and it was quite a large lake trout. I came over and helped him with the landing of it. And then after we did that, I moved back up into my position that I was fishing. And I think it was the first or second cast after that, I hooked into something that I thought was, very, very large. Oh, it's a lake trout, isn't it? It's another lake trout, you guys. And I got a lake trout as well, and I'd never caught a lake trout before in my life. So within probably 10 or 15 minutes of each other, Jim and I, we both landed our first lake trout, which was, to me, that made the day. Like that was so exciting. After Jim and I had both landed fish that, the guides weren't even expecting that there would be any lake trout there.
Blue Lead Creek, which is a very unusual name for a stream. It comes, again, back off the mountains into Quenelle Lake, and it's a little different because it has a big, long area of wadable, sort of gravel shoreline. I caught a really good rainbow in there that was, his belly was sort of distended from whatever it is he'd been eating recently. That was the best rainbow I got through the day, I'm sure.
Nice rainbow, yeah.
It wasn't long after I'd stepped into the water, I think maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and I took a cast. I felt the hit, and then it heads back down into the water, and I'm bringing that fish in, and then all of a sudden my rod just goes straight over. Sure enough, it was, this fish was actually taking out line, and I realized that there was actually probably about a 25-inch bull trout that had latched onto that small rainbow and wasn't letting it go. Like I saw this guy come up and hit it, right? And I'm like, that's not very big, and then all of a sudden my line's
just overall, the day I think really represented the whole idea of connections really, really well. And certainly centered on the remarkable trip that these salmon make. Yeah, we weren't even trying to catch the salmon, but they were kind of the focal point of the whole thing. And without them doing what they do. The trout would not be doing what they do, and we would not be doing what we're doing.